All right, so it's week 13 and I'm really behind, but that's because I didn't know I was going to Brazil so soon. So Justin came for the weekend and he left Tuesday night, and I was rushing back to come to my game on Tuesday. I didn't make it, and so on Wednesday I texted the group with my friends. I was like, "What time are we leaving Thursday morning?" And they're like, "No, Krista, we're leaving tonight." And I was like, "Oh." And so I didn't have time to make a video, but yeah. So, entonces, primero las diferencias. Ooh, you like my Spanish? So here I've noticed that they don't have sirens for the police or ambulances, and it's really crazy for the ambulances, because like they should, and also like they don't even rush to where like they need to go. Like they just have their lights on and that's it. Like no sound, no rushing. I'm like, that's crazy. Like someone could be dying and they're just like taking their time going through traffic. So that's a difference. And so also tip here is 10%. It's basically the same as back home, but so when they get tipped extra, they're always like really surprised. So the first time was we were in Valpo and we just were eating a completo. It was like the completo and a drink, and it was only like 1,400 pesos. And so they put on the tip, like it's usually automatic or a suggested tip. So it would have been like 14, like we're supposed 10%, 1,400, 14 pesos. But we left him like a meal or 600 pesos or something like that. So just like a US dollar. And we just like got up from the table and he was like, your change. And we're like, no, like it's for you. And he was like, his face, like he was so happy. And another time, there was like the suggested tip, so we left that and then plus more whatever the change was, and we like got up and left, and then this other guy too was like, your change, and we're like, no, like it's for you. So there, I feel like they're not used to getting more than what's suggested. um and here, so at the restaurants, like back home as well, like you always get like bread before, or like yeah, bread, or sometimes if you're at a Mexican restaurant, like chips. But back home, they give you like a whole basket and have like 8 pieces of bread. But here, like, this happened twice. So at a restaurant, like you have your plate and they have the basket of bread, but they just put one on your plate, and each person just gets one bread. And I'm like, this is why we're fat in the U.S. So that was a difference, and I was like, I want more bread, but they don't do that here. We had a game last week. We lost 3-1, and then I missed that soccer game on Tuesday. And it was like a difficult team, and I just couldn't. It was impossible. I had to go drop off Justin at the airport, and I just didn't have time to get back. And the coach was mad that I didn't make it because they lost 4-2. But there's nothing really I could do about it. So yeah, about this week. So this was like the weekend that Justin came. Um, so he actually got to Viña del Mar by himself. I was like thinking about going to get him, but I was like, nah, it'll be a good experience for him. Like try to get here. But I even made videos for him and took pictures. Like when I got back from the airport from like Buenos Aires, I made a video. I was like, ooh, this will be good for him. I'm like, okay, this is where you go. This is what you do. This is how much you pay. Like it was pretty detailed. I think they were good videos. So, and then like he wasn't gonna have data when he got here and all that. So I was kind of worried, but I'm like, nah, like he should be good. So, I gave him my number, all that, and he got to I was like, when you get to the airport, you'll have Wi-Fi, text me. And so I get a call cause he landed at 8. So I get a random call from some random number that I didn't know, like at 8:30 in the morning. I'm like half asleep and I answer it. And this guy's like speaking Spanish. He's like, "Donde vivas?" And I'm like, what? Like, I don't know. And then Justin gets on the phone and he's like, this guy's gonna take like a taxi driver. Cause when you get out of the airport, like there's like, I'd say like 25 taxi people. Like they're just asking you like, do you want a taxi? Do you want a taxi? But this is all Spanish, and it's like they're talking really fast. And I already told you about my friend that like they told her that her group left her, and that she needed to take a taxi to Vina, and she ended up paying like $100 and something. And they always get people. So like they're trying to get him, and then he's like, "Hey, this guy's like telling me he'll give me a ride for 100 pesos, and 100 pesos is like 10, like 15 cents or something." I'm like, "No, it's not 100 pesos, like 100,000 pesos, which is like $100 and something." I'm like, "No, like don't do it. Like just follow the video." And then like Justin gets off the phone, and the other guy, the taxi driver, he's like, "Donde vi?" Like he was trying to get me to tell him my address so that he can bring him, and I was just like, "Vina, Vina," like, and then yeah, so I was like, "Oh man, like he's not gonna get here." But then um I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna be at the bus station at this time. Like, I'll meet you there." And then I was there, and then he came out, and I was like, so he made it, and it was all good. And then I think, like, the first thing he's like said, he was like, "They made me pay for the, they made me pay for the restroom." I'm like, "Yeah, that's a thing here." Um, but yeah. So let's see what else. The first day he got here, we went to Concon, which is like 15 minutes from here. I wanted to do the sand dunes, but he got here on a Friday, and they only rent the sandboards Saturday and Sunday. So we went on the bus, and we actually went too far. So we were like walking through these sand dunes, and the sand dunes are like really tall, and like the sand is deep, and we were kind of lost, and we had to go down this like trail that really wasn't a trail. And but we got to see some good views. Ate at a restaurant over there. um that night I took them to the outlet. It was just like something different. And then the second day we went to Valparaiso, and we were just gonna go to like the fruit market because I've never been, and Valparaiso has a bigger one than Vina. And so we actually driving there, we see this fish market, and he's like, "Oh, I want to go there." So like we just get off the bus really fast, and that was a really cool experience. um so the fish market, like they're selling all kinds of fish, and then there were seals by like the beach ocean, and they're just wild seals, and like the fishermen are like throwing, I guess, like not good fish like over, and they're just there eating it. And there was a seal like right by the there's a like a ledge thing, and like you can touch it if you wanted to, but like he'll probably rip your arm off or something. And this guy had his baby was like, he had him sitting on the ledge, and like his or her foot was like hanging off. I'm like, "Dude, you're crazy. Like this seal can like jump up and like bite the baby's leg, like thinking it's food or something." But so the seals were really cool. um and the fish, like it smelled so much like fish, but that was really cool. Is they're selling, they're like selling shark. Like I've never seen shark sold like that. Like you could see the bone of the shark. They were selling some other fishes that I didn't know as well, but it was pretty interesting. I have some videos of that, so I'll post that. Then we went to the fruit market, and like at the fruit market, there, like Justin was really surprised that they weren't selling like chilies or anything like spicy. Like they did have like a hot sauce, but it wasn't spicy. And like he's also like, none of the food here is spicy, so that probably explains it. But they also sell like clothes and like shampoo and all kinds of stuff. And then after that, we went to the Nature and History Museum, and it was free, and it's actually a really nice museum. It had yeah, just nature stuff. It was a good museum. And then after that, we went to a cooking class. So I signed us up for like they have like different not different sessions, but there's always like an activity going on, and that happened to be going on when he was here. And so they were teaching us how to make pastel de choclo, made empanadas, ceviche. There was some dessert. I forgot what the name is in Spanish, but it's similar to a flan. And then, so that was really cool. I've already made empanadas before, so he was like making the empanadas. And all the food came out really good, and we're supposed to get those recipes. So when I have like that dinner for the sponsors or whatever, hopefully we'll be making some of that stuff. So that was fun. And then later that night, we went to the casino. We played roulette. Didn't win anything, but it was still fun. And then after the casino, we went out, and I was like warning him about the music. I'm like, it's different. You might like it. I don't know. He ended up not really liking it, but it was really funny because so they dance really different here. Like the guys actually dance, like not back home. Like the guys are just like swaying or like doing something, but like they dance and like they go all the way to the floor. So like the whole night he was just like watching the guys and like mimicking and doing what they're doing. It's really funny. But so we had a good time. One of the days, I can't remember which day this was, but we were walking to a Peruvian restaurant, and some lady like came up to us, and she was like in the Spanish, like, can you help me, like, which bus do I take to get to the mall? And but this was like she already knew what to say, like this is her skit, like I don't know, but just wait. So I told her, I'm like, you can catch it over there, and stuff. And then I'm pretty, she might have been pregnant, I don't know, but it looked like she was pregnant. She like showed me her stomach, and then she's like, thank you, like you're a really nice person. She's like, let me see your hand, like I'm gonna say a prayer for you. And like I didn't understand like everything she was saying, but majority of it. And so she was like saying this prayer, she's like going like this and stuff. And then she pulls like this plant flower thing out of her purse, and then she's like says like another prayer, and then she's like, excuse me. And I had my glasses on, and I thought she was like gonna push up my glasses or something, I don't know. But she pulls one of my hairs and like wraps it in the plant thing, and then keeps saying like another prayer. And then some other lady, like they're just like the same, like I don't know, is like trying to get Justin to give her his hand, and he's like, oh no, like he's like, I don't mess with those kind of ladies. And then so I was like, this lady's gonna make me pay for her saying for a prayer. So I was like, no, like stop, like we gotta go. And yeah, so that was weird and crazy, but I'm like, I'm sure she does this to so many people. And so while he was here, we experienced like different weathers every single day. Like one day it was like kind of rainy, the other day was like cold, and then another day like the sun was out and it was really nice outside and it was warm. So I experienced all different kinds of weathers while he was here. Um, Justin actually said that he was really impressed with my Spanish. It has improved kind of quite a lot. Like every time at the restaurants or we would go somewhere, like someone would speak Spanish, or like they would ask him what he wanted or something, and they'd be like, because they were saying it fast, they'd be like, and then he'd just look at me, and then I would answer for him, and then they would ask something else, and he'd look at me. So, and I was like kind of worried. I'm like, okay, like it's just gonna be me and him the whole weekend. Like we have to get around like with the Spanish I know, but it wasn't too bad. We went to Cinemark one of the days, and so I haven't been to movie theaters here. So it's the same Cinemark here. The tickets were a little bit cheaper, but the food was even more expensive than it is back in the US. So it's crazy, people that buy food here. The movie was in English. We watched the X-Men movie. So, and then they have the subtitles in Spanish. And I asked my host mom about it, and I'm pretty sure she said mostly all the movies like that come from back in the States, like all of them are in English, and then they have the Spanish subtitles. And it was pretty cool. So even like in the X-Men, I think they speak French as well, or it was another language. And so they would have, so the movie they're speaking, let's say it was French, so they would have the Spanish subtitle and the English subtitle at the bottom. I'm like, this is awesome. Um, so, but I was like, dang, it kind of sucks for them, like all the movies being in English, because then they just have to read the subtitles all the time. But then she's like the host mom was saying like they have Chilean movies as well. So, um, and then the very last day, we went to Santiago because his plane was leaving, but not till like later that day. So we walked around the city, ate some food. We went into this history museum, and it ended up being free. So it was pretty cool to see a lot of the stuff, but everything was in Spanish, so we didn't read anything. We just looked at all this stuff. But we did walk into this room where they had like all these artifacts and like old tools and stuff like that. And the one of the guys spoke English and he was like explaining some of the stuff, so that was pretty cool. But while he was here, all my days were messed up. So on Monday, like I still had to go to class while he was here. So Monday, I don't know. So we had a game on Tuesday. So I was like, thought we had practice on Monday for some reason. I don't know, because I don't always read the WhatsApp group because it's always in Spanish and it's a lot. And so I don't know. I thought we had practice. So we went to like to go eat coffee or drink coffee and dessert. But then I was like, okay, but we have to catch the bus because this is the only bus that goes there. And so we're like running to the bus, like we barely make it, and then we get up to the university, and I see guys playing on both of the fields, and I'm like we should be practicing right now because I was running a little late, and I see some other soccer girls. I'm like, we don't have practice, and they're like, no, like, and I was like, wow, like we're rushing, doing all that for nothing, but at least we got a ride home. And then, yeah, that was it. So he was only here like for the weekend. It went by really fast. And that was it. And so then the next day, yeah, basically the next day I went to Brazil. So the next video will be about Brazil. And you should definitely watch that because there are some interesting stories. And look at my new favorite sweater. It says Universidad Adolfo Bañez, the school here. UAI, that's how you say it in Spanish. And this, my new favorite sweater. So until next time, guys. So like in a day. Bye. Oops. Ah, okay, bye this time.